Hey, what up, YouTube? This is your boy Patrick coming to you. I didn't have nothing to do, so I thought I'd come back on and chat with you a little bit. Nothing in Pacific, just chatting. But my wife just took my oldest 12-year-old to his basketball practice. And oh, yeah, by the way, I coach a girls, 8th grade girls basketball team. Um, their ages are 15, 14, and 15, and they are young ladies with an attitude. Every one of them think they're a diva and too cute to be on the floor. So since I've had them this year, they've done pretty well. I mean, they placed in every tournament that they've gone to, but they could have done better. They don't apply themselves. They don't apply themselves during practice. You know, I have to push them and push them hard just to get them to do a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to be coaching next year because I got a lot going on with me doing my transition and whatnot. So I don't know if I'll have the time to spend with the girls, the time they're needed to get them ready and take them on the road. That's one thing about kids. They only see the game. They don't see the lesson that you can learn from it. Every game a child plays, there's some kind of lesson that they can take from it that'll help them smoothly through their life. So let's take the game of basketball, what I coach. Basketball teaches you to play as a team, to be fast, to be on time. It teaches how to get along with other individuals. It teaches you also how to learn or how to play even with somebody you don't like because they're on your team. The life lessons they can learn from this is if they ever get them a job, they'll know they have to be there on time. They'll know there's somebody there that they might not like or talks about them, but they can still work and do their job. There may be individuals that are always trying to step on their toes, but they can handle it because they've handled it through basketball. Every single game a child plays can be some teaching angle out of it. And it's up to us parents to pull it out and teach our kids while they're in that game. Because if we wait, they're going to get taught from the streets. That's how a lot of young ladies learn about sex, from the streets. Instead of learning from mom and dad, they got their friends to go talk to. So isn't it important that we keep our kids not so strict or held in? Give them breathing room, let them grow, let them make their mistakes, but then be there to guide them through the mistakes that they've done. The reason I talk about kids is because I love children. I don't care whose child it is, I love kids. And I always will. I'm always there to give a kid a shirt off my back if needed. But yeah, they're a joy. And there's not much more you can say about that. There's some that have come from bad homes or bad situations, and some of the things that kids do, you can't blame on the kid. You know, you can't blame it on the child. You have to look at their parents because it's a learned thing. Once a child is in a home, in an abusive home, let's say, they learn that abuse and they think that's the way things are supposed to go. So even though those kids are in those structures or in those situations, even though we're not their parent, we can still help guide them. And that's why I like basketball, because I can help guide those kids through basketball. Now, I don't know everything, and I'm not going to claim I know everything. But in my 44 years, I think I've experienced enough where I can help children in a way that would guide them positively toward any goal that they have. It doesn't matter what they're playing checkers. Let's take that for instance. They have to learn patience. They have to learn that they don't have to cheat. They have to learn that sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. They have to learn to be a good sport about things. That's the same thing in life. Just the same thing. It's just a different game. It's the same thing. Why can't we take whatever we have, whatever your child has, and make a life lesson out of it? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Teach our kids through whatever it is that bothers them. Like I told before, the question I asked before, how would you come out to your kids? And I've gotten a couple of responses back. And this one lady, she was speaking to her 9-year-old daughter. And she came out to her daughter, and her daughter didn't like it at first, but she kept explaining, and she said that her daughter accepted it at that point. And I think that's good, if her daughter accepted it. But there has to be so much more training when it comes to our transition and our kids than them just accepting it. Because they will be bullied. They will be embarrassed. They will not want to be around us, especially if you come out and they're at these teenage years, these viable years, because of these years right here, they're still trying to learn who they are. So when we come up and tell them about our transition in any kind of way that we're doing it, I mean, their little minds, that's mind-blowing for them, especially at the tender teenage years when they're just figuring out who they really are. And I say that because of my son, my 12-year-old son. It's a wonderful child. He's bad sometimes. You know, I think I spoiled him a little. He thinks he's supposed to have everything right then and there. I had to break it down to him, you know, you're getting older and you don't cry or whine over every little thing that comes your way, or every little problem that comes. You have to learn to work through it. I have him read to me every day. And this book gives you examples of daily life. And it kind of helps him out. We read together. I ask him questions. We figure out things together. But it's a process. It's a learning process that never stops. As long as your child is in your home, you're always teaching them. And I think that's a beautiful thing. If you can always find something, no matter what it is, and teach your child a life lesson from it, please do it. They need all the help we can give them. Because as these years go on, things are getting rougher, tougher. People aren't listening to each other. They're cursing each other out now. Nobody gets along. I mean, we have neighbors that we haven't even met. I had a neighbor down the road. Her husband died. I didn't know for a complete month. And we say hi and bye and how you doing? And I knew her husband, but I didn't know he died. The way we act as parents is an example of how our children are going to act as adults. Like I said, I love my kids. I love any child. And I pray that I can always show my kids how to be an adult, a productive adult, an adult that is going to be proud of himself, be proud of his family, be proud of his heritage. So I stay on my son. My time's out.